Good morning and welcome to the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chitga, your host. Today we shall be discussing the topic manner of speech. By manner of speech, I mean your approach towards conversing with others, how you relay information to others. The last time I spoke on communication and my focus was on listening because I regarded it and it is the substrate of communication. Today we shall deal with manner of speech, and I will quote a favorite verse of mine from the Bible, the book of Proverbs, that is 15 verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath. It cannot be overstated. In today's world, it seems that the best answer is the rude answer, is the clap back, is the pushback. Internationally, that is the case. Nationally, that is the case. Domestically, that is the case. That is in our states, in our family. Strangely enough, this wisdom of how you speak to a person will determine how they respond is common knowledge amongst most of us. We practice it in our families, with our loved ones, with those we care about. We practice it with our bosses. We practice it with our benefactors. You would not be rude to your benefactor, knowing fully well that he will continue to patronize you. So, why are we aggressive in our manner of speech? I don't know. I would say it is a primal response. I understand that in our society, Nigeria, most societies actually, there is stress. There is quite a lot of stress in this society. The mind hovers around multiple issues, from the economic well-being of the family, if you're the head of the family. Even if you are not the head of the family, you are a member of that family. When the head falters, you seek to serve as an auxiliary. All those issues weigh the mind. And generally, I should add, if you have good intentions for your society, there is a tendency to feel frustrated by the conduct of society. I'll give you an instance. Once a man set up a barber shop, and in that shop he made available, at a strategic location, he made available trash cans. And he hoped that the littering of society, of the streets, would be abated at least within his immediate surrounding, because a bin has finally been provided. To his surprise, at to his surprise, at the point in front of the trash bin, biscuit wrappers, sweet wrappers, any wrapper you can think of that has been used for a product, to wrap a product, was discarded in front of the shop, not minding the bin. He insisted on this practice, spoke on it, tried to convince as many persons as possible But it turned out that when people realized what he was trying to achieve, certain others felt the need to deliberately frustrate this. After the first 3 months, the trash bin was stolen. He replaced it. The nonsense continued. And at its peak, at about 6 months, he was infuriated and frustrated that he resorted to, a mild-mannered man, resorted to shouting at strangers that drop trash on the streets. So, your good deed can also lead you to frustration. My point is, our manner of speech, the way we conduct ourselves, the way we speak, is critical to how we function in society. Especially when there is a knock behind the door, an infuriating knock behind the door. I use this analogy of an infuriating knock because it is easy to identify a person by sight and be polite. When there is an interruption on your door by a knock you consider rude, regardless of who that person is. You may make rude speech, and then, having opened the door, you begin to apologize. You have shown your character. Don't feel that you're a bad person. It is in our nature. It is instinctive. But now I'm telling you, as a human, back to our core principle for the Yellow Trumpet. As a human, you should be conscious of your every waking reaction or response. You should be conscious about the things you say, the things you do, the way you eat, the way you live your life in general. You will find that this is a difficult task because the mind has grown accustomed. The mind has grown accustomed to the autopilot mode which it has operated on over a period of time. But if you make conscious efforts at restraining your speech at the moment of heat, perhaps you will see a significant effect. It might take its toll on your body, but I would suggest a better solution on how to present your manner of speech, and that is politely. At all times, bear in mind the need to be polite. I've come to understand that for me to properly be polite, it has to stem from within. Well, that's cliche. It must come from within. It's true. It's true. It must come from within. How we address issues will be a function of how our mental makeup is. However, a good way to gauge ourselves and call ourselves to consciousness in practice of life is, the least person, the most powerless person before you. Perhaps your toy breed dog, if at all you speak and you do speak to it, as polite as possible. It cannot report you, it cannot say you are rude, but you owe yourself that duty while making speech to be as polite as possible to that dog, to that child, to that old man, to that beggar, to that person that nobody gives a damn about. You be polite to that person. To that person that deliberately seeks to infuriate you. Well, you address the issue if you can. You step out of the way if you must. But in your manner of speech, I beg you, consciously apply polite manners. This will not only save the situation of society, which is prone to fights, our society, I should say, which is prone to fights, but will generally help your well-being as an individual. I hope this talk is of meaning to you. Until next time, this is the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chituga Chinda. Take care.